Darby Allin knows what it's like to taste the gold, to taste that TNT championship, being a former champion himself. And that's just a flavor that stays in your mouth. It's a flavor that you crave. You want more of it. And tonight, here in this match, Darby Allin has the chance to knock the king of television off of his throne. However, that's a little bit easier said than done, considering his opponent, Samoa Joe, a man that's twice his size. Darby Allin, early on, highly relying on his quickness over Samoa Joe and diving, but nobody there. Oh, and a crash landing. That was all concrete for Darby Allin, right on his spine and lower back. A crash landing. Darby Allin shooting through the middle and top ropes like a rocket, just to fall and burn on the floor. Look at that. The way he dove and just burns on to that concrete. Samoa Joe using Darby Allin like a battering ram into the steel guardrail. And now into the apron. Back and forth. Darby Allin is experiencing what it's like when Joe goes full violence. Samoa Joe, as I mentioned, the king of television, the current holder of not only the TNT championship, which is on the line in this match, but the Ring of Honor television championship, hence the king of television. Now the thin padding is pulled up. It's going to go from bad to worse if Darby Allin connects with the concrete once more. Darby Allin got sent into the ring by Samoa Joe just to break the count, and then pulled him out, and then slamming Allin on the floor as Allin expressing his pain. There is one thing about Darby Allin that is highly commendable, is his tolerance for pain. Darby Allin could be hit by a bus and could survive and probably get up and still show up to wrestle the same night. That's just how insane Darby Allin is. Oh! And a snap power slam on the exposed floor, right on the spine. This TNT championship match is continuing. That was nasty. A nasty crash landing. Darby has broken all kinds of bones. He's put his body at risk time and time again, and still manages to find the will to stay with it. Joe just mockingly clapped. Give it up for your guy. Is that your guy, Darby Allin? Well, look what I'm doing to him right now. Darby hardly able to move. Joe is doing the moving for Darby by picking him up and just tossing him around like nothing. The thing about it is, Darby has this thing where he just doesn't know when to give up, doesn't know when to quit. While it's very respectable, it could also lead to the downfall of Darby Allin. And not just in this match, but in his career. It could lead to serious injuries that, well, what we've seen Darby Allin come back from serious injuries, but it could be the one that could be career ending and life threatening. However, Darby Allin saying, I want it, bring it. The crowd trying to rally behind Darby. And Joe just back elbows Darby, nearly turning his challenger inside out. Just the way that Darby got nearly decapitated by that elbow by Joe. And now putting a torque on the neck of Allin. Gonna do a lot of damage to the neck right now. Darby Allin had his feet under the ropes, which might be the only thing that saved Darby Allin in that situation. Darby trying to kick back at Joe to fight, show that he's still got a dog in this fight. Darby now going in for some body shots, but just one headbutt from Joe is enough to knock Darby Allin off his rocker. This is gonna be you talk about an uphill battle. David versus Goliath. Well, David ain't looking so good right now, and Goliath is looking very strong. This bout is looking like if Goliath had made a fool out of David with no uphill battle whatsoever, as Darby Allin got sent into the ring post and just flew through the air on the outside on the floor. Let's watch this one more time. The way Darby Allin's body just spun in midair after connecting with that steel post. The doctor checking on Darby Allin to see if he's medically okay to continue. Dr. Sampson trying to see if Darby Allin's in good condition. I think the doctor should make the right call. This is not good for Darby. Darby has not moved. And Samoa Joe just hyping himself up, just feeling himself right now, doing some showboating. Meanwhile, for whatever reason, Darby Allin feels the need to continue to move and get himself up back to his feet. And somehow, for some reason, Darby Allin's like, I'm still going to get in the ring. I don't, why live to fight another day when I can fight today and give it everything I have, even if it costs me everything? Because that's just the type of fighter that Darby Allin is. Joe is just toying with him, but somehow Darby comes in with a slap to the face. Darby tried to use his quickness, but Joe with an atomic drop and follows it up with a massive big boot and a senton, dropping all of his weight on Darby, enough to put away Allin. And Darby Allin stays alive. Samoa Joe's eyes just went wide open, thinking he had it all set and done. Got caught up on the shoulders of Joe after flying over the top. Darby sending Joe into the steps. Darby finds his opening, ready to risk it all. High risk. But will he receive his reward? Coffin drop off the top, knocks out Joe on the floor. Darby finds water, perhaps giving himself new life, wake himself up. I would say second win, but we may be on our fourth or fifth for Darby Allin. The way that Darby crashed on Joe. Now it's time to turn up the pace, pick it up, and the stun dog millionaire and a code red. Will it be new TNT champ? No. And Samoa Joe manages to kick out. Darby Allin finds this whole new life, bringing new energy in this match. An impressive display of resilience, second to none, that comes from Darby Allin, but gets caught by a Uranagi in the corner and just gets slammed back into reality. Samoa Joe could be looking to put the finishing touches on this matchup, thinking a muscle buster. Darby realized that could be the end. That same muscle buster has ended careers. It's won him championships. All Darby biting the face of Joe. And Darby up with a top. Coffin drop, but he gets caught. He gets caught. Coquina clutch. Joe got Darby. That could be it. Darby could get choked out right here. A miscalculation by Darby. Darby's eyes trying to stay with it, but he's doing everything to fight the fade. As everything fades to black for Darby Allin. That's it. A valiant effort by Darby Allin. What an effort. Like I said, a valiant effort by Darby Allin. The King keeps his throne. Samoa Joe still the TNT champion.